Welcome to the Water Cooler Online Recap for Wednesday, December the 28th, 2011. And on one of the many things we talked about on today's show, we spent a little bit of time on the fact that the SEC football schedule is getting jumbled.
Jumbled? Getting all messed up.
It's all higgledy-piggledy.
Because Missouri's in the East.
Yes.
Figure that one out.
And Texas A&M is in the West, so that's just the easiest way to make sure they're even teams. But anyway, you know, the schedules are made years in advance, but they decided to switch them around since they're going to have two new players in the
otherwise they wouldn't play
in the arena. That's true. Auburn will now not be on the road against Florida next year,
which I think is a shame. That was a good series.
They'll be at home against Texas A&M instead,
which could be a good new series.
True. The Crimson Tide, however, will be traveling to Missouri, and then we'll play host to Texas A&M in November. So they're going to get actually both new schools on.
But Auburn's just playing A&M next year.
Correct.
All right.
So, you know, I'm sure a lot of you were just crushed by the fact that Auburn won't be playing Florida. I don't know. A game's a game.
You never know. Could be Florida and Auburn in the SEC championship. They could still play.
That's true.
I was dreaming.
I was more concerned about the realignment than about really the rescheduling. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, and we also talked a little bit about the fact that you have to dial 256 now for 18 months. You've had to dial 256 before dialing a local number in the North Alabama area. It doesn't matter if it was next door to you or across the state. You had to dial 256. Reason is because of a new area code, 938.
Right.
The only problem is 18 months later is that nobody has a 938 number.
Yeah, do you know a single person who has one?
According to the information I got, the only people that do is an internet service provider over in the far western corner of North Alabama. They have reserved 20,000 numbers.
And how many have they used?
0. So there is no 938 numbers.
And how many 256 numbers are there still?
800,000.
Why bother with 938?
I know. I mean, I guess set it up, but why make us start dialing it until you actually start passing them out?
Right.
They've been able to pass out that number since July of 2010.
And they just haven't.
And they haven't. So
maybe they're trying to cut down, not just be ready for it until they actually have to do it, or
I think they should be passing them out now. I mean, how cool would it be to have a custom? I mean, it's a wide open field. You could have your own number, any number you wanted. If you were in the market for a new number, you could have anything you wanted. Everything's available. So
we also talked a little bit about an exotic animal salesman, who tried to board.
This is not a television or a movie, by the way.
No, this is not Snakes on a Plane. This really happened. A guy tried to board a flight from Argentina to Europe with almost 250 undeclared poisonous snakes and endangered reptiles in his baggage. Apparently, their version of the TSA noticed when on their X-ray as it was going under, things were moving. He said, that's not how socks are supposed to move. So when they opened it up, they actually found reptiles and insects inside of plastic containers, bags, and yes, even socks.
Socks?
So, yes. A citizen of the Czech Republic, Karel Abelovsky, was attempting to do this.
Bad Abelovsky.
They think that he may be part of a consortium that smuggles illegal animals like this. And he was released on bail, but his passport was also confiscated. So he faces 10 years in prison for that.
I bet there'll be poisonous snakes in prison too.
They were very concerned because if some of those snakes had gotten out on the plane, or even in Prague where he was going to land, they don't have the antidote for those poisons in Europe. They're in South America.
Because, South American pit vipers are so common in Prague.
Oh, sure.
So why would they?
Sell them at the pet store.
We also talked to Cory Elrod today.
Oh, yes, Cory Elrod.
He was a guest on the show. He is an 18-year-old running for public office. That was very impressive. I was impressed with him.
He's running for the Limestone County School Board District 6 seat. His opponent will be Anthony Hilliard, who is the incumbent there and is also just lives down the street.
And works at the same school he's going to now, Calhoun. Mm-hmm. It's and apparently they're friends and still friendly. He went to school with his daughter, and
Yep. Cory just thought that the students should have more of a voice on the school board, and he's doing it by saying, "I just get out of the school, so I know what it's like there." So he thinks he's qualified to actually be on the board.
He's not only now a budding politician; he's also quite an accomplished fiddle player. This is Cory 2 years ago
at a festival in Texas,
where he is playing.
He's recorded a couple of albums
and is working with some big names in country music.
That's right.
So our hats off to Cory, and hope that he continues his budding career in
politics
and music.
And music, but you'll be able to see his full interview. We'll be posting it on our Facebook page and on YouTube.
As well as a link
today.
to that video of him out in Texas. It's about 8 minutes long. If you've got a little extra time, you might want to give it a listen. He's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You can catch the water cooler every weekday on WMJN Channel 29 at 11 o'clock live, or you can watch our live stream on our website at WMJN29.com.
Also, catch us on Facebook. Just do a search for The Water Cooler, all 3 words. We're the television show as opposed to the guys that sell water coolers. Like us on Facebook, and we'll like you back.
Be sure to make some suggestions for other things we can talk about around the water cooler. We'll see you tomorrow.